So just like that, I said goodbye to Chandler. He gets lifted off in the helicopter, and I'm in the wilderness alone. Chandler is in a helicopter. So Chandler just got airlifted out. We were at 10,700 feet, super high elevations. And Chandler, I just kept noticing he would sit down and then he would just fall right asleep. We had to keep resting consecutively, and I was beat too. So we basically had to face the facts. We looked at our map and the route out, and we realized, you know, he's not gonna be able to get back out this park. So it wasn't gonna happen, and we just had to come to grips with that. I ended up calling the search and rescue, and we got a helicopter to come out and get him. So Chandler is from Florida, and he had flown in from Florida where you're at sea level, basically, little elevation at all. And someone who's acclimated to that sea level is not gonna be acclimated to upwards of 10,000 feet. So it all made sense to me then. So I kind of feel bad because I brought Chandler along in this, and this is like a crazy hike. I think we bit off more than we could chew. I'm a kind of person that goes all in on something. It's not exciting to me unless it's like a big journey. And I was relieved for him because I knew he would be out of the mountains, he would be in safety and in good hands. But there were still some big unknowns for me to hike out solo. And I just kind of look at my path on the map ahead of me, and it's 12 miles, and it's not just 12 miles flat ground. This is 12 miles up and down and up and down. At that point, I'm getting completely exhausted, and I still had a long ways to go and a lot of hours of hiking to cover. The sun starts heading towards the horizon, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna be hiking in the dark.
Once I got back safely, they drove me back to the car where my car was parked, and now I'm just waiting to hear from Pat because he couldn't get on the helicopter. I'm just kind of left wondering, you know, when he's gonna hit me up to come pick him up at whatever location he makes it to.
So I'm here at Hurricane Pass. Breathtaking views. I'm completely wiped. Got 9 miles left and the sun is going down. It's pretty wild, but gotta do it.
He's now by himself. It's probably, 5, 6 o'clock at night, and I still haven't heard from him. And I'm kind of getting worried, he's now alone. I didn't understand that he could make it because I couldn't make it, and I could only imagine how he was feeling and everything else since he continued on. I just had a lot of kind of negative thoughts.
So I continue hiking beyond Schoolroom Glacier. I check it out and then I keep going. And it really becomes a decline at that point. And it's a huge relief because I probably couldn't have kept going if it was an incline. I was using different muscles now in my legs, and it was just a nice relief. But I was really getting into some deep bear country. Huge trees, huge rocks, potential bear dens, down trees. If bears were to live anywhere, this was it. And I was alone, and I had to make noise. So I took 2 rocks, and I'm hitting them together. And I'm making as much loud noise as I can, and just hoping that there was no bears ahead.
Most attacks happen when the bear is caught off guard by the presence of a human. By making noise, Patrick is hoping that any wildlife nearby will hear it and leave the area.
Luckily, I had several layers of protection.
In Patrick's bag is an air horn to deter wildlife from long range, bear mace to spray at a bear and repel it at short range, and a 9mm Smith & Wesson handgun in case all other protection fails.
And I had it all in my side in a pack so that if I needed to pull anything out, I could. And that was reassurance, but as the sun went down, it got pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. Luckily, I had a headlamp. I pull out my headlamp and it illuminates my path ahead. So I'm further and further descending into just this crazy bear country. And I'm noticing the peaks are getting higher and they're surrounding me, and I'm ascending down into this canyon. I'm no longer in my own domain. I was walking through and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done. This is the stupidest thing I ever did, to continue hiking in the dark alone. And I was just on high alert.
A situation like the one Patrick is in will trigger the release of the hormone adrenaline into the bloodstream. And Patrick is feeling the effects as his primal senses are kicking into high gear.
I could smell things that I don't normally smell. I could see almost further. I was more alert to sounds and noises. And I turn a corner and I see something out of the corner of my eye. What's up, guys? I'm here in Cholula, Mexico. I'm here to tell you about Adventure Creator Academy. This is my new digital course. It's all things adventure filmmaking, all things how to travel the world, how to make money while traveling the world, how to grow your subscriber base and create videos and films that captivate millions of people. I would have loved to be here in Mexico in my early 20s, but I was sitting in an office wasting away. I looked around in the office and I saw my coworkers and they were happily working, and I was just miserable. And it was because I knew there was a whole world like this out there that I was just missing out on. There was just so much to experience that I couldn't find or experience from that office. So if you're in that position that I was when I was in my 20s, in an office wasting away, feeling hopeless, but wanting to explore the world, I created Adventure Creator Academy just for you. This is all about adventure filmmaking, video editing, storytelling, how to make a video go viral online, and most importantly, how to position yourself in the best spot for adventure to just naturally happen around you, so that you just turn on your camera and you capture cinematic gold. So I'm offering limited access to the course for a limited time, and then I'm gonna pull the link. So go ahead and click that link as soon as possible. You'll wanna get in there. All right, guys, I'll catch you later.
Out of the bushes appears a bear cub. It then scurries away at the sight of seeing Patrick. A bear cub is cause for alarm because in most cases, this means its mother is nearby.
You do not want to be nearby a cub and her mother because she's going to protect her cub at any cost, and you're a threat. This is animal country, and I'm alone in this dark wilderness with no one else.
Patrick has now been hiking non-stop for over 12 hours across 12 miles of high-altitude wilderness. Factor in the lack of food and water, and Patrick is now experiencing a dangerous mix of severe exhaustion and malnutrition. He's losing energy at a rapid pace, and it's crucial that he either stop hiking or get to his final destination as quick as possible.
I'm completely exhausted at this point, to the point where I could barely hit the rocks together. So I start yelling with my voice to make more noise, and I can barely even formulate sentences. I'm so exhausted. I'm out of water, I'm out of food. As I'm walking up the trail, further down the trail, further into the wild, I see two glowing eyes. I move my headlamp and there's two glowing eyes about 30 feet ahead of me. And I noticed something about the eyes. I noticed that they're not down by the ground. They're up about 5 feet. It's not a small animal. These eyes belong to a bear. And I continue to hit my rocks together. I blow the air horn off, and the eyes just continue looking at me. And what I'm realizing is this is really like a standoff. I'm on the trail, he's on the trail, this bear is on the trail. I need to get that way, and he's in my way. And he needs to get this way, and I'm in his way. What's gonna happen? So I'm gonna just have to confidently walk towards this bear, and I'm gonna pray to God that he moves out of my way and leaves the area. I see the eyes disappear, and it looks like the bear has left. And it dawns on me that I won this standoff against a bear. That gave me a little boost to keep going, and I had more strength to hit the rocks together, and it was quite an incredible feeling. So I get to Jenny Lake. I'm so relieved that I'm at the lake because I know this is where the edge of the park is and where the parking lot is and where I'm gonna meet Chandler, where he's gonna pick me up. At that point, I was so exhausted, I was almost falling asleep as I was walking. I was saying to myself, I was just walking through, super exhausted, tired, hungry, aching everywhere. The only words that I could get out were, "You got this. You got this. Keep going. Keep going." I eventually got it. I made it, and I made it to the park, and I walked out of the forest, having encountered this wildlife, having encountered this bear, with no food, little water, and triumphant. Both Chandler and I made it out alive, and it was just something to be celebrated.
That was the entirety of this excursion, and learned a lot. Definitely, I'm gonna remember, this experience for the rest of my life.
For a person like me, it's not enough to just live in this kind of fake reality that we've propped up around us with, cars that get us from A to B, air conditioning, news, media, movies, commercials that are all completely fake. It's really something to go out and test yourself to cold, hard reality. And it really takes an adventure to know that.